Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
California is at it again, passing odd laws. This one bans change therapy. Liberty Counsel has filed a lawsuit against this law. We'll talk about it on Faith and Freedom. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, we recently filed this lawsuit against this law in California that bans change therapy. Leave it to California to come up with some bizarre law. This is the first time in history that I know of that a state or a government has come in and told counselors on any subject you can only speak or counsel or refer on one viewpoint of that subject. It would be like them coming in to say, with regards to alcohol abuse, if somebody seeks your assistance for alcohol abuse, they don't want to actually excessively consume alcohol or drugs, you have to tell them that it's okay. That you can't tell them how to deal with that stress and eliminate those conflicts in your life and stop taking drugs or alcohol. You've got to tell them it's okay. That's exactly what they've done with regards to homosexuality. You've got to tell them that it's okay. If you don't, then you're in violation of an ethical code.
This is unbelievable. Well, what is counseling about? It's about changing unwanted, undesirable feelings,
conflicts
or behaviors,
conflict resolution within
yourself.
Yeah,
and even the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, the most liberal court in the land, in the high-tech decision, they even admit, quote, homosexuality is not an immutable characteristic. It is behavioral and hence is fundamentally different from traits such as race, gender, or alienage. Yet here we have, without any science to back it up, California coming down and saying, no, we have to treat this as if it's something that can't be changed, and in fact that it's harmful to try to change sexual orientation when it's an unwanted attraction. No science to back that up whatsoever. Even the APA acknowledges that there is no real solid science, the liberal American Psychological Association, to back up that change therapy is harmful. Yet we do have studies that show that change is possible. The Jones and Yarhouse study in 2011, for instance, found that there were varying levels of success within change therapy with very limited, if any, evidence that it can harm individuals. So this is the government stepping into and driving out the parents and stepping in as the nanny state, and trampling on parental rights.
Well, and Senator Lieu, the primary sponsor of this in California, said this is exactly what it's designed to do, to prevent parents from harming their children. In his view, preventing parents from taking them to counseling that can actually give them benefit. We represent parents and we represent individual minors who have actually benefited, currently are in counseling. Yeah. We represent counselors who actually counsel in this area. We represent counseling associations like NARTH and others that ultimately have a lot of counselors. This will ultimately involve many counselors. Now, there are a lot of counselors, for example, that don't deal with change therapy. This is not their expertise. Their expertise may be in, say, drug addiction or alcohol addiction. But as a drug abuse counselor, someone comes in, they've got drug abuse issues and dependency issues, and then they tell the counselor, you know, I've been having these other struggles. I'm having same-sex attractions. Yeah. I'm attracted to the same gender, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be identified gay. My religious values tell me that that's wrong. Right. Can you give me some help? Now, here, this drug abuse counselor that doesn't counsel in this area has to make a decision. Typically, what they would do is they would refer out to someone who is able to address that. Under this law, they can only refer out to someone who will affirm the same-sex attractions. But the client says, but I don't want to go to a gay-affirming counselor. I don't want to act out on these, and I haven't yet done it. I'm just having these struggles. I need to resolve it. And I need to prioritize my religious values because those are more important to me than these internal struggles I've got. I don't want to go to an LGBT gay-affirming counselor. Can you send me to someone else that can give me help? No. Under the law, they can't. If they do, they violate the law. But if they don't, under that particular situation where the client is actually seeking help, they also violate the ethical codes. So either way, they're in violation of the code. They're in violation of this new law if they refer to someone that tries to reduce or eliminate same-sex attractions. They're in violation of the existing ethical codes if they override the client's decision and only send that client to a gay-affirming counselor.
Here we have the state of California putting junk science. There are no peer-reviewed studies that prove that people are born gay, yet we know there are a number of studies that show there are environmental factors that cause people to have same-sex attractions. So we have, you've laid it out perfectly. A Christian, there's a religious liberties violation aspect in this. A Christian who's a kid who says, Mom, Dad, I'm having these impulses, these same-sex attractions, this temptation to engage in sin, and they have no recourse. In fact, they have shut down the recourse to pursue their sincerely held religious beliefs, and they must instead be pigeonholed and forced to actually engage or affirm what the Bible says is sin. That is a conflict between religion, freedom of religious expression, and junk science.
Yeah, and clearly the two issues that all the counseling codes have in common are, number one, informed consent, that you need to inform the client and get consent from them. And here they would not be able to properly inform them of the modalities of therapy that are available. And also, this client-directed counseling where you're actually able to help the client with their direction in which they are ultimately wanting to receive help. Both of those are undermined. Now, the interesting thing is it says that, quote, sexual orientation change efforts is any effort or any practice that is designed to reduce or eliminate same-sex attractions. Now, if you've got someone who is a pedophile, and they have same-sex attractions, but not of people their same age or adult age, but that same-sex attractions of people that just happen to be minors. They are more sexually attracted to people of the same gender that are minors. Someone comes in and says, look, I've got these feelings towards sexual attractions toward minors of the same sex.
If this is a person that's under 18, at least, like a 17,
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. So I'm 17. I've got some same-sex attractions to someone else that's also a minor
or
here.
a 5-year-old. Yeah.
I don't want to do that, and they will not be able to stop that. They will not be able to address that same-sex attraction.
Yeah, unbelievable. Here's another analogy. Let's take, another sin that the Bible says is sin apart from homosexuality. And I'm not saying these are the same thing exactly. They're different, but I'm using this as an illustration. Theft. Let's say a kid goes and says, hey, Mom, I'm having these impulses when I'm in the grocery store. I think I'm a kleptomaniac. I feel like I want to constantly shoplift and steal things. That's like saying you can't go to a counselor to work on that theft. You have to just embrace that kleptomania. That's who you are. Identify yourself by that sin and engage the sinful behavior. That's essentially what we're seeing happen here, but it's done in terms of sexual sin.
Yeah, right. So you got to go to a counselor that actually affirms your kleptomaniac.
Yeah, exactly.
Activity, and you can have kleptomaniac Pride Week or something like that. But you can't get assistance. There is no other area, whether it's in that area, whether it's in spousal abuse, whether it's in pedophilia, alcohol and drug consumption, whatever other area it is, there's just nothing in existence where the government has come in and said to counselors, you can only give one viewpoint. Not that you can't talk about the subject matter, but yeah, you can talk about the subject matter, but you can only give one viewpoint of that subject matter, and that is a viewpoint that is affirming of homosexuality. Yeah. It's just, you have to be in California to come up with a law like this.
Well, and it's, and as well as I do, that it's politically motivated. They have to try to force the idea that this is an immutable, unchangeable characteristic. So when people do successfully change, that threatens this immutable notion for suspect minority status.
And, I think one of the things that this points out is don't believe all the people that are your elected officials or even so-called experts that come out and say that they know what the issues are, because this is a clear example that just defies common sense. It defies the studies. It defies constitutional principles. And yet they push it forward, and they get enough people in California, unfortunately, to pass this law, and a governor that is politically motivated enough and ideologically driven to sign it. Well, Liberty Counsel is not going to sit back and allow that to happen, and that's why we ultimately filed this federal lawsuit on behalf of a wide range of groups and people. Give us a call. Make sure that you not only pray for the ministry because of this important issue, but also for others that we're involved in, and then help support Liberty Counsel. All that we do at no charge. If we weren't able to be there to help these individuals, this law would just simply bowl over counselors and parents and minors. Give Liberty Counsel a call and also support us with your financial contributions. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, sign up for our Liberty Alert email, and also get involved in this coming election cycle and make a difference. Vote your values.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.